when you are personally censored by beings. What I mean is beings who um, have control over your memories. They indicate to you, why don't you try to come up with the memory that we're thinking about? And then they block it from you. And then they go, oh my God, I guess we blocked a memory of yours. I guess that means you're not a real person. I guess that means you're incompetent, you're incapable, and I'm sorry, but we're in control and you're our puppet. They also like to play with me, as in play with parts of my body by remote control, like, they're using voodoo. You don't believe in voodoo? Oh, it's real. It's called, well, synthetic telepathy, synthetic telekinesis, scalar weaponry, gang stalking. And where's this technology? Well, I think it's freely available if you're on perhaps the dark web, or you're a military contractor, perhaps you're I don't know. The technology's not been offered to me, but it's been used on me. It's act right now as I talk. It's being used on me. Why do I talk about this? Because they want you to know about it. Why? Because I don't know why. Who are the beings um, that use this? Whoever gets it, I guess, decides to experiment on it. What does it feel like to be someone who is abused by these kind of technologies? I want to take these people and arrest them and throw them in jail, and then, well, I wouldn't re-educate them because they've already been re-educated. What does it mean? It means that even though they know it is wrong, they cannot and will not stop because there's no gun pointed at their head. It is just their personalities. So if you come to the conclusion that someone's personality cannot be changed, and they're basically, like a scorpion, the nature of a scorpion is to sting you. So this is the nature of these personalities. What can you do if you can ever track down these personalities? Well, I don't know if you can delete them, erase them. Some commentators on YouTube said that these service to self entities um, should be sent to the great central sun to be deleted, removed, killed. I don't have capabilities. I don't even know if the great central sun exists. But I do know that there are technologies that do horrible abuse of beings. And I think I'm repeating myself. Um, you live in hell world, planet Earth, or whatever this matrix hologram is. And there are definitely beings here that I think that a lot of the beings that are affecting me are actually, they've got guns held to their head by other beings. But, at some level, there are tyrants who say either, you abuse this being or we're going to torture you. So, it's a chain of command. It's just like Nazi Germany, like if you get rounded up and you get inducted into the German army, are you evil? Or are you basically, well, they've got guns pointed at my head and they say you're going to join the army. Who are they? Well, the Nazi Party. Who are the Nazi Party? Um, Absolutely demonic beings. So this is how demonic beings can hijack normally people who wouldn't do this kind of thing. They have a lot of power and coercion. Um, and if they've got scalar weapons, then they can just take control of your body directly, like voodoo. So that is what we're facing in this war against the demonic. And are we winning? No, we are not. We are losing. And, some people in the United States say if they take my guns away, we'll be like Canada and we won't have any way of fighting the government. I'm telling you that even if you've got your guns, the scalar weapons will simply take control of your body and stop you from using the guns that you've got. So it's not a matter of, keeping my right to guns. If they control your body directly, they control your mind, you've got no way to fight. So who are you looking to? Beings who are not susceptible to being abused by scalar weapons, synthetic telepathy, synthetic telekinesis. And who are those beings? I don't know. It's not me. I am susceptible to these things. If you are not susceptible to these things, then this is your enemy, those beings that are using these abuse of power weapons. Abuse of power is an old thing on planet Earth, or planet Earth hologram, planet Earth matrix. The stories are that way back in ancient Atlantis and Lemuria, Mu, there were beings who played around with crystals, and they made high-powered amplification systems that could amplify their will, and their will was abuse of power. It's funny because even in Star Wars, they use different kinds of crystals to power things like lightsabers, and I'm not sure if there was any crystals used in the Death Star. I don't know if they're using crystal technology to make scalar weapons. I have no idea how to make a scalar weapon. The other possibility that they could be using is the spiritual powers known as siddhis, S-I-D-D-H-I. And the thing with that is I would expect there would be more senior beings that have access to siddhis who would know when beings are abusing siddhis. Dr. David R. Hawkins, the spiritual teacher, said avoid using siddhi power because it is a spiritual trap. Now, at some point, do you become a very powerful being and seeing all this abuse of power, using siddhi power that you have access to but have decided not to use? And at some point, do you pick up your siddhi power and use it to take out those beings who are abusing power? Or do you wait for time to pass, eons, thousands of years of this use of abuse of power to see if those beings will ever change their ways? That is what I think has gone on since the time of Lemuria and Atlantis and Mu. I think that these other higher beings have watched and waited. And some of them say, well, it's the cycles, it's like the precession of the equinoxes and the change of ages from, Pisces to Aquarius. And perhaps there will be a change. But I don't see this change. I see constant abuse. So, if you're one of those beings watching now and you're wanting a testimony from me, I would say it's time to get off your fat asses, pick up your siddhi powers, and take out the dark. It seems to be the right thing to do. Now, I know a lot of these ones are saying, well, you just said it's a spiritual trap. Well, the thing is, if you see a bunch of other beings that are entrapped in a situation, you can either, sit on your hands and be complicit in allowing the abuse to continue, which I think these beings have been. Maybe it was a learning experience for them. But at some point, you have to say, okay, we've studied this problem long enough, and it is not clearing up. So are we going to go for another 27,000 years waiting for this to happen while these beings are abused? Or are we finally going to step in and take action against the dark beings that are abusing others? I'm assuming they're listening to me now. My appeal is, be like the Ents of Lord of the Rings and decide to get off your hands and fight Dark Saruman the Wizard at Isengard. I am Harry Weaver.